There is a very loud cricket outside my house right now, and it's really annoying. Man, what's up with these crickets? Awkward opening. Check. Okay, let's do this. This is an experiment, which it's not, really, it's not the first time I've reviewed an older movie, but I want to do this series of reviews every weekend that I don't have a title for yet. But I'm gonna review movies that I haven't reviewed yet, as long as like contenders, as long as I haven't reviewed it. It could be a movie that even came out last year that um I never saw, but whatever. So yeah, I just want to do a weekly series just so you guys can have more content because yeah, I know I don't watch a lot of movies. I haven't really watched a lot of movies in theaters recently, but uh, hope you guys enjoy these reviews because we're talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's actually tied for my favorite movie of all time with The Dark Knight and Fight Club, which, if anyone asks me what's my favorite movie of all time, probably one of those three movies that I will choose as my favorite movie. Um, and I watched it at a perfect age. I actually saw it at home. This Blu-ray copy actually is my uncle's, not actually mine. But I remember grabbing it off his shelf and popping it to the TV and watching it and being amazed by it. Um, and since then, I've grown to appreciate it more and more as I get older. I even remember as I during that I went to Comic Con a year, and the first thing I did was actually go to the Only Press booth and buy the comic. See, right there. So let's talk about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It stars Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and is directed by Edgar Wright. And it's about Scott Pilgrim. He's your nerdy Michael Cera type character. One day he meets his girl Ramona Flowers. He falls in love with her, but it turns out she has 7 evil exes that Scott has to fight in order to basically, well, not really win her heart, but just to like keep those exes from bothering them. And it's like I said, this movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, and most of that is the visuals. I really like how much of this movie feels like a video game. It's actually kind of different from the comics, the video game style, because I feel like the comics are more based off like manga, like shonen manga from Japan, and then the movie's more based like around video games. But I don't know, maybe it's me who thinks that. Weird, but yeah, the visuals are great. I like how if you notice certain fight scenes, like sometimes the aspect ratio would be like this during a regular shot, but then when it gets to the fight between Scott and the evil exes, it will actually shrink down. I kind of I don't know if it came out in IMAX during the theatrical run. I really wish I saw it in IMAX. But the characters, their characters are great. I like Scott Pilgrim. I can relate to him a lot. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona Flowers. She is amazing. I like the entire cast. I like all the acting. 7 Evil X's. I like especially I like Brandon Routh as the third one. He was my favorite one. Also, Chris Evans is the second one. I didn't know that was Chris Evans until I read the credits. But um, there's some flaws. Near the end, I felt they were rushing through the fights between the evil exes, especially with the fifth and sixth one, who are the brothers. I feel like that fight was a little too short. I like it, but I feel like that was like you didn't get to really know them a lot. But that's actually that is one of those negatives. I think the other negative is a real spoiler because well, at least it's a negative for other people in the movie. I didn't mind it based on how the movie was, but kind of want again I don't want to ruin it. And can we just talk about those visuals? Like this movie is visually one of the finest movies I've seen. Right there with like Tron Legacy with the visuals. I again like the video game style they were going for. Just it's amazing. Like I like how I love, like, again, it's also in the comics. Whenever he would defeat one, he'll get coins from it. And Edgar Wright's directing. He is a great director, and you see that a lot through this movie. And you know, you see in this movie, you see in Baby Driver, especially with the action sequences, his camera work, or the principal photographer. I think that's the name of the people who work behind the camera, is great, and it's just one of my favorite movies of all time. It's great. It has a bunch of great references, to video games and nerd stuff. His whole Scott's Pac-Man thing, I I kind of quote that. I remember after seeing that, I would quote that a lot. And yeah, I wish I played the game. I've heard the game is amazing. But that's my review. The definition of awesome-tacular, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's a cult classic because I wish more people saw it in theaters because it bombed in theaters. But it's great to just have this gem. It's really underrated. And yeah, it's amazing. The fights are great. I really like it. And also check out the comics. The comics are awesome as well. Like I said, the comics go deeper with the characters, but you can't really take all that and compress that into like 2 hour movie. I don't think that. So yeah, that's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's my favorite Edgar Wright movie of all time. And, I've seen this movie at least 100 times. So that's my review. Next weekend I'll review another older movie. Again, it doesn't have to. I don't think it doesn't have to be like really old. Like this movie came out in 2010. It's not really that long ago. But again, as long as I haven't reviewed it, it can kind of go with this video. So like and comment if you subscribe. Subscribe if you want to see more of these older reviews. I will try to go to the movies more and have more reviews of newer releases. So yeah, subscribe for that. Like this video, comment about Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and help me out. Comment on a movie that you guys would want me to review. So I will see you guys later. And remember, kids, the bass is a great instrument. See ya.